Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast. My name is Henry Lawrence, and in this episode, we're going to talk about how your gut, how you're feeling, how your innate ability to sense something can move you along and give you the life of your dreams. And make sure to stay tuned to the very end because we're going to do a deep, healing, meditative breath to help us align on this message and move forward throughout the day. So, how do you know, like that gut feeling? How do you know when something's right? When something's wrong, how to move forward. Because if you want something, you want to become something, you're going to need more than just a step by step guide. You're going to need to feel your way. You're going to need to trust your senses because they are guiding you through frequency, through energy. Have you ever done something where it just doesn't feel right? Like you're talking to somebody and you know that something's wrong. Or you're dealing with a situation, you know that something is just not how it's supposed to be, or the opposite of that when it feels right, when it feels good. You see, we are so much more than just this physical thing that we see, this body and stuff. Like we are energy, energy that aligns or disaligns. And your current experience, everything that fits well, doesn't mean it fits good or it's positive or it's negative. Everything that fits routinely that you exist in resonates at your frequency. So if you're trying to expand your business, expand your wealth, but things keep going wrong, you keep running into obstacles and you can't seem to do it no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you work, it could be an energetic misalignment. So you're running against these walls, you're hitting these barriers that you can't see because there's something you have to change within so that you can resonate on the next level. So how do you do that? Like, how do you make a shift? How do you do more than just work hard? Well, you see, when you set an intention, so you say, we're going to use business for the example. You say, I'm going to build this business and it's going to be this big. It's going to make this much money. It's going to have this many employees. It's going to affect this many lives. Or you're talking about your health. Like, I'm going to get into this condition, this shape. I'm going to be able to do this activity. Like, you set an intention for self. Then you align it in your mind. You say, I am blank. I am a multimillionaire business owner. I am the healthiest human alive. I'm the fastest human alive. You set that intention. And then every action you take, every thought that you make, every conversation that you have, every food that you ingest, everything that you partake in has to go through that I am statement. When it goes into that I am statement, that feeling you get will tell you whether something is good for you, meaning it's more in alignment, or it's not. You see, when you tell yourself, I am healthy and I make healthy decisions, but you eat food that's not in alignment, you will feel it. It'll still taste good or whatever it does, but you will feel the opposition in energy. When you tell someone a lie, but in your mind you're saying, I am truthful, I'm truthful, I'm truthful, and tell a lie, you will feel that misalignment. When you say that I am a successful business owner, but then you do something that's not in alignment with that being that successful business owner, you will feel the frequency shift. And so you slowly change the action, or you slowly change the thought pattern, or you slowly change the choices that you make until it feels right. Your gut will align you so that you can move forward in that energy. The law of attraction says like attracts like. I think that like is like. So if you're not in alignment with the thing that you're trying to become, then your current experience is what you are. So if you're struggling financially, that is your energy. It doesn't mean it will always be your energy. It doesn't mean that you're not taking the right steps, that you're not taking the right mindset shifts. It just means your current experience is tolerated by you. And you cannot tolerate something that is not aligned with you. You can't take it. The attraction, the alignment is too powerful. It's more powerful than you. It's just how somebody can work, and we're going to use money for example because it's easy to sense, it's easy to understand. Somebody can work 50, 60, 100 hours a week. They can dig ditches, they can have multiple jobs, they can work in a hospital, they can be a nurse, they can be all these things that are physically and mentally demanding. And they will receive a certain amount of money. But then there's someone else that does something different that requires less mental thought, less time, less energy output, but yet they receive more. So it can't be what you do, it's who you are as you do it that matters more. The energy of you affects how you perceive the world. You see, there are not limits on things. There's not limits on how much money is available. There's not limits on how much resources. There may be space between you and it, but there's not limits. Otherwise, people wouldn't have it. And people wouldn't have it abundantly, but they do. The limiting factor is the perception at which you're able to perceive, because as you perceive, you will receive. The thing that you're going against, the thing that you're struggling against, if you take somebody else that's achieved your goal, that's received your goal, that's lived in your goal, if you take that person and you put them into your life, then they will see something differently than you. They will perceive something different from you. And as they perceive something different from you, then they will receive something different from you. The example that I always think of, imagine starting a new job. You start this new job, they sit you at the computer and you're doing your first assignment. You've never done this assignment before. Maybe you went to college for this, but you've never actually done this assignment. So you're sitting there working your way through it. You kind of have an idea of what it is, but it's your first time. So it takes a while to figure out things. You click the wrong button, you do the wrong file, like you're trying to work your way through. It takes a while. But if you take someone else that's been there 10 years, they've done what you're trying to do every single day. It's routine for them. You put them in your seat and they deal with the same computer, the same task. They will move through it quicker because their perception of it is different. Their perception is of understanding, the perception of making the mistakes that you've made, making the right choices that you're trying to make. They've perceived it all and they've received it all. So when they go into your experience, they will experience it differently than you. They will perceive it with ease. They will experience it fluidly. They will get to the result quickly. Even though it's the same thing, you will run into obstacles. So it's not the thing that ever needs to change. Work doesn't need to get easier. Business doesn't need to get simpler. Money doesn't need to become more attainable. You have the opportunity to change you. And I know we're all made differently. Some people are made more sensitive. Some people are made with they can remember things more. They're quicker at math. They're in better shape. They're faster. Better. Like I know people are made differently, but the energy of you, your soul, your spirit, the makeup that's made in the image of God is the same as everybody. So the body, the mind, the vessels that we use might be unique to each person, but your spirit, your soul, the thing that truly matters, that's not part of this material world, this body goes to the dirt. That's where it came from. It's all from this earth. So why would that be your limiting factor? It's not. Everyone has different ones. Everyone has different minds, different hands, different legs. They have different ones. But the soul, the energy that was actually made in the image of what you are, the true frequency thing is the only thing you should be focusing on. The rest will mold around it. This world is a creation of you. You are the creator of your experience. You create it and then you experience it and then you expand consciousness. That's how it works. That's how we grow as individuals. That's how we grow as a consciousness of understanding. You are so much more than the things that you limit yourself to. You are so much more than the problem that you're facing. And if you're facing that resistance, if you're learning or being shown the lesson again and again, you get to choose to reflect. And as you start to reflect, you start looking within, meaning, I wish this thing didn't happen is no longer your thought. Your thought becomes, oh, I know how to solve it now. I have the perception to perceive something differently now so I can receive something different. It's so powerful when you no longer need something to be something because you are the thing you want to be. If you want to be wealthy, meaning you have an abundance of something, then you need to become that energetically within, and then it doesn't matter what the outcome is. You see, if there was a ton of lack on this world, and the richest person in the world, the richest person, had enough food and supplies for 3 days, and the poorest person only had enough food and supplies for their next meal. If that was the reality, if that was the case, then you'd be living abundant if you had a few days worth of food. You'd be living in surplus if that was your existence. So that doesn't matter what you have, because in this reality, if you only have 3 days worth of food, you wouldn't be considered wealthy. You wouldn't be considered having it all. So the external circumstances which we're living in cannot be the definition of your internal experience. So if you're feeling the resistance, look beyond the world, look beyond the physical experience and reflect within energetically. What can I learn right here? What would somebody do that had already achieved the thing that I want to receive in this situation? How can I move and live and act like them so I can have that experience? So what we're going to do is we're going to take a deep breath. And when you breathe in, you're going to line on an I am statement. You could say, I am love. I am joy. I am abundance. I am power. Whatever frequency you want. And as you breathe in, say that I am over and over. I am power. I am power. I am power. As you hold your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. Visualize yourself living in abundance, whatever that scenario is. Vision yourself living in peace, whatever that scenario is. And then as you exhale, allow anything that doesn't resonate with you to leave you so that you can move forward in this positive, expansive life. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. You are so powerful. There's so much strength within you. There's so much that you're not realizing that you are capable of doing. Once you start pointing the finger within, once you start giving yourself the blame and the power, you will shift your experience. So let's rise up and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope this episode was impactful and gave you a different perspective on whatever it is that you're going through. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. I appreciate all the follows there. Well, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.